All right, welcome to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone. And this week we have the privilege of having Mr. John Prestridge. He is the principal of Pisgah. They're pre-K through 12. You guys have almost 600 students.
Yes, ma'am. I think 596 was the last official count.
That is a lot of kids in one school.
It is.
Of course, it's going all the way down to pre-K and all the way to 12th.
That's right. We got them all.
Do you find it challenging having such a long, wide spectrum of ages?
It can be. It can be challenging. It can also be exciting because you get, you deal with high school some, and then you want to go and see what they're doing in elementary, and they may be, singing songs in a kindergarten classroom. Then you jump back up to the high school and go to a physics where they're doing some lab with Coach Hembry, and it really makes your day go by faster because there's a ton of variety in the job. So it can present its challenges, sure, but it's also one of the more enjoyable aspects of the job.
I would think that it would be kind of nice for the teachers, especially if you're elementary, middle, because then you have those kids all the way through high school, which you can kind of go see, and they know you, and you're just part of their life.
I think so. I think it adds for an environment of better collaboration between teachers, as opposed to maybe being at one school on a different campus and know your kids are going to go off to a different one. And
right.
And I certainly would think there's something rewarding in a small community like Pisgah of seeing some kids go all the way from kindergarten through 12th grade.
Cool, super cool. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, where your background is, and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I was born in Hazel Green, Alabama, right up the road, and I did my undergrad at Jacksonville State and all my master's and doctoral work at Auburn. So I started teaching and taught social studies high school for about 7 years at Smith Station High School, and did some principal work down in Alex City for a little while, as well as Pelham, before I got the opportunity to come join the fine people at Pisgah.
Oh, awesome. So how many years do you have in total?
This is year number 14 for me.
14. What did you actually teach?
I taught every social studies grade at some point in time between 7th and 12th grade, and including some of the electives with psychology and sociology and economics, current events, and of course US 1, 2, and world history, so even some civics in there.
There you go. Quite a bit. All right, so let's talk about some of the things you got going on new this year. We'll start with you just were telling me you have some good news.
We did. We received word right before Christmas break that we've been chosen only one of 7 schools in the state of Alabama to participate in the A+ middle school pilot incentive program, in which the big thing about that is our teachers are going to be provided with some professional development that's geared towards aligning the modern instruction towards the standards that our middle school students need to work towards mastering. They're going to provide us with some resources, and we're it's going to create some opportunities that maybe our middle school students hadn't had before. So we have some training coming up next week with some of my teachers and other staff that's going to be involved in that. So we're in the infant stages of it, but we're excited to see where it goes.
Awesome. And how did you get that?
It was an application process. We looked at, it really started with looking at our school report card, and we had a high B on our state report card, which is good. That's average, but we talked about it, and we want to be above average, and we looked at where our opportunities for growth. We have a partnership with Northeast to where we're offering quite a bit of dual enrollment classes, but we wanted to create even more opportunities to offer not only more dual enrollment, but maybe some AP courses that we didn't offer. Well, and to offer those, we have to make sure we're preparing our students to be successful in those classes. So we looked at the schools that have been successful, talked to, colleagues like Jason Davidson at Skyline, who they, knock it out of the park with the 95 on their report card, and talk about what do you recommend, what do you think, and one of the things that the common threads was, hey, see what A+ can do for you. And I think we knew we wanted to target our middle school as an opportunity for improvement in regards to rigor, and I think this is going to, really set the stage for that.
Super cool. Great. All right. And then you also have, so I know this is a Jackson County thing this year. It's called CI3T.
Mm-hmm.
So tell everybody who doesn't know what that is.
Well, it's basically a school-wide not necessarily a discipline program, but a school-wide positive behavior rewards program where teachers are very strategic. We're way ahead of the game at the elementary level, in which we're looking to reward students for positive behavior. You know, you go to some big cities. I know some places in Birmingham, they may have it in Huntsville too, where you see like these angel wings on the side of the building, and everyone likes to stop and take their picture. So we had some of our students create a little artwork in the elementary classroom with the phrase, "Where will your wings take you?" And so students can actually earn tickets from their teachers and cash them in for prizes. And our AP, Miss Whitney Smith, always takes their picture with the wings and highlights them on our Facebook page, and our teacher reps who've implemented CI3T, Miss Barentine, Miss Hatfield, along with our counselor Carol Gann and Miss Smith, have done just a really good job, and it's still developing, and I think it's only going to take off and improve even more so.
That's cool. I like that a lot. I think that would be good for all schools.
I do too, and I look forward. Our next step is to say, okay, how does this going to translate to the high school level? And high schoolers may be a little too too cool to cash in tickets, but we know
not if they're iPods.
Not if they're iPods. So we may have to get some more expensive rewards and get toys and community involvement. So if anyone wants to donate to that, contact me, and we'll gladly give the recognition for that. But I think that's the next step. And high schoolers, we joke about, well, it may be elementary, but they like that positive feedback too, and recognition. And luckily we got kids who know how to behave for the most part, and discipline's not a huge issue, but there's always room for improvement. So we want to see what we can do to get all kids motivated.
Well, and I mean, elementary is, they're young enough where they're still excited about it. But when you get to the high school level, that's when it's the most important, because that's where they're going to take those skills and take it to the real world in their first jobs and college or wherever they're going to go next. And so if they do not know how to listen, follow directions.
Yeah, those soft skills are just as important as the academics, and we talk all the time about what do we got to do to make sure our kids are college and career ready, and I think that's an important aspect of that.
It's very important. So awesome. Okay, and then so you guys have a conference coming up. So it's called the Student-Led Conference?
We do. We're going to be doing that March 13th, starting at about 11:45. We're going to do it in conjunction with our spring Title I meeting. This year we're going to launch it 3rd through 6th grade, and what this is, it's kind of an offshoot of any school who may be familiar with the Leader in Me program. We're not a Leader in Me school, but we did kind of take this idea from that, in which we want our students taking ownership of their learning. It's one thing, for me to say, okay, this is your data on a test, this is what you're doing well in, this is where you're not. But it's another thing when a student can speak the language and they know, okay, I have an opportunity for growth in reading, and our teachers have actually sat down with students and helped them create goals and are tracking their goals. So what we want to do on the 13th is invite our parents, 3rd through 6th grade. We're launching with them this year, and our hopes are we can do this on some level school-wide going forward, but we want to target 3rd through 6th grade this year, and for our parents to come in, and it's a day for our students to sit down with the parents and lead their parents through the conference. It's not a day to question the teacher for student parent conferences. This is all about our students taking ownership of their learning and understanding where they are and where they want to go, and what steps they're taking to get there.
Well, and I mean, I think that's a good, same reason. That's a really good age, because going from that age into middle school, it's like, oh my gosh, you mean you're not going to tell me what I'm missing? I have to actually ask that myself? That's
right. And it's that age that we notice just a huge jump in maturity level and things that they can do. So I'm excited to see it. It's going to be the first time we've done it, and so all of our parents are invited out, and we'll invite some of our school leaders out as well to come in and sit in and kind of see what it's all about. But we're excited about it.
Super cool. That sounds really good. You said that was March 13th?
It's going to be March 13th. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, and do they have to RSVP or do anything?
Don't have to RSVP. There'll be information coming home with their teachers, and again, just about 11:45 they'll come in. We'll report to the Cooley Gym for a short meeting, and then dismiss to the conferences from there.
All right. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so you guys have some fundraisers going on or that are going to be coming up. So let's talk about those.
We do. I know our baseball team's selling strawberries, and I had a player hit me up right before I came here, so I bought some. And
Our baseball teams do strawberries.
they are. It's a good deal. You can get half a flat, I think, for 15, and a full for 25.
Make that strawberry jam.
You could.
Strawberry jam.
Absolutely. And also, I know our football team's launching pretty soon their Zaxby's card fundraiser, where I think
just like a discount.
It is. I think different deals where maybe buy one salad, get one free, or half off chicken fingers, things like that. So they're a good deal as well. So definitely see your Pisgah football player. Absolutely.
Okay, and then you have donuts. Somebody said something about donuts.
Yeah, I think Miss Johnson, she can speak to that whenever her segment comes up in a little while. I know we got prom coming up, and
prom is March 28th.
March 28th is going to be at the Lumber Yard in Huntsville, which is a great little venue down there. I know our kids are fired up and excited about it, and it'll be my first Pisgah prom, so I'm excited about it as well.
Super cool. And prom, what grades can prom go?
Proms, it'll be junior and seniors.
It's just juniors and seniors. So, do you remember your proms?
I remember them, yes, ma'am.
They're pretty cool, aren't they?
I do. They were a good time.
When you're that age.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
They're pretty good. So, what sounds like you got going in the works? So, on this grant, so did is it just you guys who applied for it, or were there other schools in the district?
There were school. I don't know how many schools in our district, but there were schools throughout the state who applied, and like I said, only 7 of us were selected. So it was a highly competitive process. So we feel blessed and fortunate to have been selected by A+ to participate in this.
That is good. That's a lot of work. So, all right. Well, we're glad you came on. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And when we come back, we're going to be talking to some other people, but we'll be back in just a moment.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
A hassle-free, so easy buying experience that you deserve is waiting for you at the all-new Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in beautiful Kimball, Tennessee.
Choose from the Chevys, Buicks, and professional-grade GMC trucks.
Get low rates and fast, affordable financing to fit everyone's budget. So come get the best buying experience imaginable.
Where I promise we will make buying a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC so easy. Shop us online anytime at riversideChevroletBuickGMC.com.
Georgia Northwestern Technical College is now accepting applications for classes. We offer programs in business, health, industrial, and public service at 6 campus locations with financial aid options as well. Take day, evening, or online classes to get your degree, diploma, or certificate. Apply now. Drop by one of our campuses today or check us out at gntc.edu. Georgia Northwestern Technical College.
Have lunch or dinner at Guthrie's, home of the original Golden Fried Chicken Finger and the best chicken finger sauce in the world. Guthrie's can help you plan your family's meals or get-togethers with bucket specials every Tuesday, those delicious wings on Wednesday, and platters every day of the week. Plus, get sweet tea by the gallon. Remember, Guthrie's has a party room for small gatherings, too. Guthrie's, Highway 136 West in Trenton, home of those Golden Fried Chicken Fingers and the best chicken finger sauce in the world.
Guthrie's, not fast food, good food fast.
When you or a loved one is facing a life-limiting illness, hospice care may be the answer. At Tapestry Hospice, the patient is the focus of our care. We are here to serve you and facilitate your wishes. Tapestry caregivers are concerned with managing your pain, keeping you in touch with your physician, and helping you make plans for the future. Hospice is life-affirming, and Tapestry Hospice can help you deal with all aspects of life, mind, body, and soul. Call Tapestry Hospice for more information. 706-383-8812. That's 706-383-8812. Tapestry Hospice. Redefining hope.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and if you're just not joining us, we are here with Pisgah School. They are pre-K through 8th, pre-K through 12th. They have almost 600 students, and that's a lot of students. So it's probably one of the biggest schools in the school district, I would assume, if not.
Close to it, yes.
The biggest. So, all right, next to me I have Miss Emily Smith. She is the robotic and science teacher, and she teaches grades 8 through 12.
Yes.
And then right directly next to me is a student. His name is Bailey Johnson, and I'll let him introduce himself. So, Miss Smith, let's introduce you, like where you've come from, how long you've been teaching, where you got your degree from, all kinds of stuff about you.
My name is Emily Smith, and I've been teaching. This is my 22nd year. I've taught at North Sun Mountain in Pisgah. I've been in Jackson County all 22 years.
Wow.
Graduated from Northeast Community College and then went to Athens State University. And I teach mainly biology and robotics now, and I'm also the fishing coach at Pisgah High School.
Fishing coach. We'll have to come back to that.
Okay.
So, introduce yourself.
My name is Bailey Johnson.
Okay. What grade?
I'm in the 11th grade.
What's your favorite subject?
Science.
Okay, why?
I usually just like the stuff in it, just analyzing stuff that I just kind of find stuff that's really neat.
Do you like doing experiments?
It depends on who I'm in a lab with, really. If it has something with like people that work really well, and it goes smoothly, that's a really good lab. But then it's people that don't want to work. It's usually
Harder.
pretty sour lab, yeah.
Yeah. When you were little at home, did you ever like do an experiment at home and tell your mom this is an experiment?
Not exactly though. But I remember just like, I don't know, just trying to do stuff and thinking it would be almost like it.
So my son he's a nuclear engineer, and he would put a penny in a cup and then put some kind of weird liquid in it and say, don't touch it. He was like 5, but that's a science experiment. Mom, that's a science experiment to see what would happen to the penny.
Yeah, I always like building with Legos.
Oh, yeah, Legos. He liked Legos, too. Did you build big things that ran with engines?
Not exactly.
No?
Yeah.
So, well, there's a new Lego competition on TV, so you should watch that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's talk about fishing. First of all, I want to ask you, fishing, how did you become a fishing coach? Do you fish? Do you like to fish? I know. I have a million. So I love to fish, and I would love to actually become part of the fishing
team.
I shouldn't say
Well,
that.
I like
Somebody's going to find me. But.
I have always liked to fish with my grandmother, but as far as like a professional fishing, that was not a goal of mine. But my son is an avid fisherman, and he wanted just so much to have a fishing team. So it was kind of like tag you're it. So, and then I just had a lot of boys that I've grown. And girls too. We have 3 girls on our team this year. So it's just been something that has grown, and it was something that they needed a coach for, and I said, sure, sign me up. So I've learned a lot.
Let's say your son must have taught you a lot.
Yes, I have learned the difference between like crankbaits and chatterbaits and swim baits and all of that good stuff. So it's
not to tie.
Yeah, knots. Yeah, and legs. The great thing about the fishing team this year or last year was that we got to see a lot of the state of Alabama, and it's the beautiful parts because we were on a lake, and it was just gorgeous, and you get there and at 5 in the morning, and you get to watch the sunrise over the lakes, and it's just been a phenomenal thing.
It is beautiful, isn't it?
It is. It has been.
It really is. So, well, good. Are you gonna do it next year?
Yes, I'll probably do it the whole time until he graduates. He's a sophomore this year.
Okay.
And then I have a younger son coming up, so it depends. If he wants to fish, I'll probably continue on. Yeah.
There you go. All right, awesome. So let's talk about you have competition coming. It's called Best.
We had a Best competition. That was in October.
So tell everybody what that is.
The Best Robotics they're pretty much given in the Northeast region and all around the country, a tub of basically just junk supplies, like it was PVC pipes and just plywood and, motors. And they were given a course and an obstacle to build, and we had to build a robot to complete the course. And you had 3 minutes to score a certain amount of points. So we completed in October, and our robot won first in our division.
Wow.
So we got to move on to Auburn. university and compete in our regional, which was 7 different states that were competing. And I was proud of my team because they had a great experience and learned a lot from it.
So now you were part of this team?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Okay, so what kind of robot did you guys build?
Well, we built a robot that was able to pick up lines, because the whole thing is if there was like a disaster that came through a city or something, what the robot was designed to do is to pick up lines and just remove rubble and basically just fix up the city and make sure electricity goes to all the towns safely.
So like a hot wire line?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. So how many people were on your team?
There's a few. I'm trying for the actual robot building, I was think about 6, but then we also have like the marketing team. And there's just so much more stuff than you would think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think at most 15. And if you're counting all the people that just went there for spectating, it would be like close to like 50 or something.
Yeah, it was a whole school bus full.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. So, do you like the building the robots? Like if you create it on your own, or do you like having somebody tell you what you get to build?
It was very interesting to come up with what we wanted to do, so we can just like figure out what kind of design, so it could just be any kind of design. And what's very interesting is whenever going there and just see all the other designs of what other people's done.
Did it give you ideas?
Sometimes, yeah. And sometimes it's like, how do they do that?
And you don't know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very much like that whenever we went to Auburn. It was like, wow, there's a lot of
different ones going on.
Yeah, very impressive.
That would be hard. Do you think do they have more supplies than you guys, or just have done it longer or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
So, well, good. How many years have you been doing this?
Realistically, it's been my first year, but last year she brought me along with during the Northeast competition. She was brought on to me to drive it.
Are you a good driver?
Sometimes, yeah, actually, and with on our team, yeah, I guess we could, though. We're all fairly equal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when it comes to driving.
I was watching those battle bots once, and the driver, from what I understand, is the most important part of it. Because if you don't drive it correctly, then it doesn't move correctly.
Yeah.
Is that what you feel?
Yeah, that's the case in a lot of times.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, and then you also had it was a ACTE?
ACTE.
Okay.
It is a robotics and technology competition that's coming up the end of February. So this one actually goes down to the 3rd grade. So we'll have some of our middle school and elementary kids competing in it. So they can actually build a robot, or they can use a robot that's already pre-built in this competition. They can code it, but they can also do an animation, such as Scratch, where they like make a cartoon, or they can design their own video game. They can do PowerPoint presentations.
For part of the competition?
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of different categories that they can compete in.
So it's not just the robot.
It's not just the robots. The robots are just like a little portion of this.
Oh, they can do a PowerPoint. What's the PowerPoint over?
They can, well, for instance, last year I had a student do influences in their lives, where their greatest influences were. We had some that did a video game design, where they designed their own video game using coding, and Scratch is a program where they can code, and they did that. They did hardware modification using a Makey board, which is kind of like a Raspberry Pi, if you're familiar with that. Yeah. So it's just a lot of good exposure for those kids, and seeing their projects and watching them develop and grow, and having a lot of fun, and learning things that our world is so technology driven.
Huge
nowadays.
Yeah, it is. So if you were in school for science, how did you get into robots? Or even learn about, I was listening to you say about a Raspberry Pi. How did you even learn about things like that?
A lot of workshops, and it was, once again, it's kind of like the fishing team tag year. A few years back, the principal goes, "Hey, do you want to try doing the robotics team?" And I said, "Okay, yeah, I'll try it out."
Do you ever say no?
I'm not really a no person. I don't guess my husband says I need to be more, but I have a lot of fun. I like lifelong learning, so this pretty much I've just learned and experienced new things with each thing that comes up, because I didn't know what a Raspberry Pi was, but now I do. And Ozobots and Sparrows and Ollies and
I don't know what any of that. I know what a Raspberry Pi is. But I
they're
don't
just
know what
little
those are.
robots, and then you got the Lego Mindstorm. So they're just, it's fun. It's like
are fun.
robotics class is kind of like a play class for a lot of them. It's one that the kids love doing. They don't mind coming to, play, because that's basically.
Where do you get the equipment from?
I've written grants. I'm a big grant writer. Last year, TVA, we got a $5,000 grant.
Wow, that's
so
a lot
I
of money.
used it for a lot of things that we're using right now, and also some of my seniors they have a hydroponic grow wall, so they're growing lettuce right now with just water and nutrients, not any dirt. So that has just been amazing to them, because they're just like, these kids that would not even pick up a textbook to read, but they rush to my lab every day to see how their lettuce plants are doing. So, just the technology, and it's on auto, and the LED lights, and it's got a pump, and just watching them put stuff together like that.
What made you decide to do that? Is that science or is that the robotics?
That's science. It was part of our technology grant. It was in with robotics and environmental, the TVA grant was. So that was part of the environmental thing, is can we use a robot to grow our own food?
There you go. So who's eating the lettuce when it grows?
The kids are. They were surprised, because it is just like the red leaf lettuce, and it's a little bitter. I think they were thinking it would taste like romaine.
Oh yeah.
But it's a little bitter. But they've sampled it, so they've been really excited about it though.
Oh my God. So, do you fish? Are you on the fishing team?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
You're not a fisherman?
No,
I love
Maybe I
fishing.
should be.
So, how many people do you have on the fishing team?
We have a total of 10 people.
Okay.
So we have 3 girls.
Don't they go out on boats?
Yes.
They have to
They
go
have a
out on
boat. Yes, they're on a boat. As a matter of fact, this Saturday is our first fishing tournament. It's at Lake Wheeler in Decatur. We launch out of Ingalls Harbor Saturday morning, and it's going to be a cold one, probably,
I
and
was
rainy.
gonna say, isn't it? I would think it would be.
Rainy and cold. It probably will be, but they're equipped for that.
Well,
and
rainy is good.
They're
Helps the fish
really
bite, but-
they're really excited about it. This is our first qualifier.
So
of
how
the
many
year.
teams do you have?
We have 5 boats.
Okay.
So, and those consist of 2 students and then a boat captain. And a boat captain has to be 21 years of age and, pass a background check. And, they're usually the ones that have the boat. So we can have up to 6 teams. So we have one extra boat left on our team, and then we can have a junior division that even goes down to grade 6, so 6th through 8th grade. And we're looking for boat captains, so if you like to fish, my boat captains, they really enjoy it. At first they're like, oh, I don't know about this, but the one tournament with the kids and they're hooked. They're like, oh, it makes me feel young again, and it's a hoot being out there with those kids, and they get to influence their life and be part of it, and be a good influence on
So
those
you
kids.
have the boat. You just need a captain.
We don't have the boats.
Okay.
Usually the captains have the boats.
Okay, so you still need
Yeah,
one more.
usually, yes.
Or could have one more.
Yes, we could have one more.
Well, you
We're
can go
always
out and
using-
learn how to fish. Do you hunt?
Not really.
No hunt. Just robotics.
Yeah, pretty much.
And band? You guys don't have a band.
We
then.
don't have a band, no.
No band. So okay. Well, awesome. It sounds like you got all kinds of things. So, what's your favorite part about being in robotics?
I mean, the team aspect is very fun, and also just kind of trying to perfect your build to make it to be the best it could be is also really fun.
If you could build a robot without anybody telling you, but you had all the money or whatever in the world, what would you build? Have you ever thought about that?
That's a very good question. Probably one. I would imagine just one that would fly. I would imagine like one that would fly and like just transport things.
So
Yeah.
like
I mean, yeah, I guess like a drone though, but a lot more self-automated,
Just
and
what I was
probably
gonna
just like maybe like just multiple that could carry like shipping containers and stuff like that.
So I've heard that Amazon is doing that. They're shipping stuff that way. I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah.
And I know in the military they kind of have them and they drop supplies in dangerous places. So maybe that's what you could do.
I guess.
So that would be great.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, you two.
Thank you
And
for
now we're
having
going to
us.
see you later, right? On the show? No. Are you going to come back on the show later?
Hey.
No.
No.
No. This is your only chance? Okay.
Yeah, I think so until like another opportunity comes up or
All
something.
right. Well, thank you both for coming on.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah. Hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. A is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O is for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
Thanks.
NL Tax and Bookkeeping is ready to serve all of your tax needs. Nancy Anderton's been serving the tri-state area since 1978. Now you can get your taxes prepared with no out-of-pocket expenses. Ask about up to a $1,200 refund advance. It's fast, easy, safe, and convenient. NL Tax and Bookkeeping is open 8:30 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and 8:30 a.m. till 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Questions about the Affordable Care Act? We have those answers too. And we offer a free form price comparison. Experienced and professional tax services. NL Tax and Bookkeeping. 500 Alabama Highway 73, 7 miles from downtown Trenton. Call today at 706-657-4758 or 256-597-2829. NL Tax and Bookkeeping. 706-657-4758 or 256-597-2829.
Hey, that cold weather is coming, and it's never too early to get your winter supplies from Rising Fawn Hardware and Supply, 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Everything you need to wrap pipes under the house, winterize around the doors. Make sure your outside faucets are protected, and keep those drafts from coming through the windows. Get your supplies for fall and winter for the home and farm today. Rising Fawn Hardware and Supply, 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Telephone 706-462-2071. The Moore family name has built a legacy of trust, compassion, and peace of mind by standing with families during time of loss. Now in our 70th year, the Moore family commitment grows even stronger, from affordable, traditional services to cremation. Our experienced staff stands ready to follow through on you and your family's wishes. Since 1945, the Moore family of funeral homes, North Sand Mountain and Trenton, always dedicated to those we serve.
Welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone. If you're just not joining us, we're here today with Pisgah School. They are pre-K all the way through 12th grade. They have almost 600 students. That's quite a bit. And we've just been talking to them about all kinds of stuff. We just got to talking about robotics and all kinds of cool things that they're making with the team. But next to me, I have Mr. Gus, is it
Hembry.
Hembry.
Yes.
Hembry. And you are a coach first. I guess you're always the coach first.
Always, I guess.
Always a coach first. You're the cross country and track coach, and then you also teach chemistry and physics.
Yes, ma'am.
Chemistry and physics, that's pretty tough.
It's pretty good stuff, though. But
It's
you know,
a lot of math.
It is, but it's a lot of fun, and we get to do a lot of really neat stuff in labs and get to play with stuff. And it's basically I get paid to play with all the stuff they wouldn't let me play with in high school. So it's a great gig for me.
When did you know you liked that kind of stuff? Were you really little when you wanted to blow up things at home?
I've always wanted to blow up things. Used to build model airplanes and fill them with gas and throw them off my parents' porch and watch them explode. So
there you go.
And that's really good till you catch your mama's favorite tree on fire, and then you kind of get banned from that. But other than that, I've always enjoyed it.
Did you ever think about doing pyrotechnics?
I did, but I enjoy my thumbs, and so I ruled that out. But I figured, hey. I like to talk. If I'm a school teacher, I get paid to make people listen to me, so it's a great gig for me, and I still get to blow stuff up. So it's a really sweet deal.
There you go. Well, my son, my oldest, he's a PhD in nuclear engineering, but
sweet. He
loved chemistry and physics, and he'd go during lunch and blow up stuff, just trying the different chemicals to see what he could do. So he liked all that stuff.
It's a
too.
good gig, you know.
It is.
And so our chemistry and physics classes are very challenging. You know, I've had kids tell me that, you know, I don't really feel like I'm successful. Someone's cried in my class during that day. That's not true. I only want one time a week to make somebody cry. That's really only my goal. But it's I have a lot of fun doing it, and it's the kids I think enjoy it, and it's and then it's trying to get them prepared for the next level because they're in chemistry, physics. They probably want to go on to college and something big, and so we try to prep them for that. But
well, if because that's chemistry is probably your normal pathway, but physics is probably not.
There's not, there's
they don't have to take physics.
They
to
don't
graduate.
have to, but the thing about with physics is it really helps them with their ACT scores, and that's what colleges look like. They'd give them money, for scholarships and also for admission. And so I try my sales pitch every year. Hey, take chemistry because you have to. Take physics because it'll help you in ACT. And so we've recently moved back to where our sophomores take chemistry and our juniors didn't have the opportunity to take physics prior to taking the ACT, and we're starting to see some good results from that. So I'm pretty excited over it.
Are any of them AP?
No. Because the limiting factor on the AP is the teacher, and I think I'm at the point now where my brain can't learn anything else. And so I am going to go through the training this summer. Dr. Prestridge said he want to do that, so I was like, okay, I'll give it a whirl and see if I can do it. And I feel pretty good about the AP chemistry. The AP physics is yet to be determined.
All right. Which one's your favorite?
Wow, that's like saying which is your favorite child. It's a push. I really like them both. They're very, very both very different in the way you kind of have to process them. Chemistry is very abstract, where physics is very concrete and you can see
so
stuff.
Explain to somebody who's listening to this, because I've tried to explain the difference to some of my students about them. Explain the difference between what you would learn, what chemistry is versus physics.
That's real simple. Chemistry is just chemistry is like all of your elements and how they interact and how they start from a very simple substance to form, to bond together to form all the stuff around us. And it's the thing about chemistry is you can't see it. You can't see an actual atom. You can build models, but you can't see them. So that's what makes chemistry tough, is it's kind of abstract. You have to visualize a lot of things. Whereas physics, you can sell it the way you want to, but physics, it's a math class with a lot of real cool science sprinkled on top of it. But you get to take all of your math that you do in high school, your algebra, your geometry, your trig, and put them all in there together. But you can go, if you want to know the motion of a car, you roll a car across the table and you can time it, you can measure it. So it's very concrete. Even though you may not understand the math very well, if you can see it, then you can, this is what I've got, this is what it's actually doing. Well, how do I explain that mathematically? And so that's what makes both of them really neat. They're both really different. I've had people that absolutely hate chemistry but love physics, and vice versa, because it's kind of how your mind works. And so
physics is higher in math than chemistry.
There's a lot of math in chemistry, especially the way I teach it, because when you get to college, there's a lot of math in your college chemistry, but it's a different type of math. I like to call chemistry math. There's a lot more algebra type stuff with the chemistry math, whereas in physics, you may work one problem. It's got algebra, trig, and geometry all in the same problem.
Right.
So good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, I can tell you're very excited about it. Whew. You and my son, that would be great. Okay, so let's talk about cross country. Let's talk about basketball, because basketball is what's right now.
Basketball is what's happening right now, absolutely.
So do you have boys and girls both?
We have boys and girls, yes. Our girls team played last night and won their first round of the area tournament. They will play Wednesday versus Sylvania in the area finals. Our girls are currently ranked number 2 in the state in 3A. They are a 2-time defending state champion. Wow. So they're a lot of fun to watch.
A lot of pressure there too.
A lot of pressure, but a very young team. But Coach Ellison has done a phenomenal job with them, as he has for the last 27 years, and has been to the state tournament many times and has always represents our school and our community very well. Our girls are always very well prepared, and so it's we're excited about where this path will take us. Our boys play tonight. They play Plainview, the number 1 seeded team in our area, and our boys have gotten better as the year has gone, and so I feel like that gap between us and Plainview is not nearly as big as it was at the beginning of the season. So I'm really excited about some really good action between Pisgah and Plainview tonight. I'm pumped over it.
Are you going?
I am going. Absolutely, I'm going. Absolutely.
Have you ever coached basketball?
I have. I coached basketball for 12 years.
Oh wow!
When I was over in West Alabama, I coached. I was assistant varsity football, head junior high. I coached 5 basketball teams, cross country, track, and baseball. And in my spare time.
So tell us. I don't think we actually had you introduce. Where your background is, what college you went to. Let's talk about that.
Well, I graduated from Section High School a long time ago. I attended Auburn University and got a BS degree in Earth Science, Geology. And then
that's a fun subject.
Oh, it was great.
I took geology. That was the science I took in college.
Oh my God, I love it.
So I love it. My kids always love that stuff.
I love it. And then I went back and got a 5th-year degree in secondary science and majored in chemistry and physics. As I found out, that's not a very common combination for people to do. And like I said, this is my 27th year teaching and coaching, and just kind of where I am. Coaching wise, I started the cross country team 11 years ago at Pisgah High School, and we've had a lot of success through the years. My track team this year is my indoor track. I also coach indoor track, which is very neat. And I got to brag on my kid. Absolutely, I've got Tanner Bain. Qualified for the state meet this coming weekend in indoor track in the 800, the 1600, and the 3200.
Wow.
Tanner's a senior. Tristan Little is an 8th grader, and he qualified in the 3200. AJ Gant is a freshman. He qualified first year doing indoor track and qualified in shot put. And his sister, Hannah Gant, I got to brag on. She set several school records this year in shot put, has qualified for state, and as of yesterday signed a scholarship, a track scholarship to continue her education at University of Alabama in Huntsville.
Wow.
So I'm really excited for Hannah.
Super cool.
So it's been a really good thing. It's been a good year so far.
Sounds great. Good. All right. So let's talk about the basketball tournament, and then when they're done, then they go to the state.
Yeah. We'll go to sub-region, and that'll be coming up. If we win, a school will come to us. If we lose, we travel.
Okay.
And if we win sub-region, you get to advance to Jacksonville, play 2 games there. You win those 2, you get to go to Birmingham. You win those 2. They get to bring them a really pretty trophy, and and those blue trophies are real fun to bring home.
I'm sure. Okay, and then you got track coming up, baseball coming up, softball, and golf.
Golf, yes. Try not to ever put the cart before the horse, and want to get through winter before we jump on into spring sports.
Right.
But baseball starts on February the 13th. We'll have a doubleheader between Pisgah and North Sand Mountain. So excited to get this season out. Coach Bryson has done a good job. He's got a lot of boys out this year, so looking to have a really good season. Coach Duncan, softball, he has won I think 15 state tournaments in softball. So anything less than the state tournament for Coach Duncan is that's a bad year, that's a lot of pressure. But Coach Duncan's able to get his girls there, and they do a great job there. Coach Anderton in golf he's starting to get the kids in and starting to get their schedule lined up. And of course, then outdoor track, we have our first. We go right out of indoor track and start February the 10th. We'll start doing outdoor, and then we have our first meet the 2nd of March. So in that good warm weather of March, and so we're excited about that. And it looks like our numbers are going to be up really well this year. So we are have a lot of anticipation for a lot of success in all of our spring sports this year.
What do you do on indoor track?
It's basically the same thing as outdoor track, except you don't have javelin and discus because they go really far. An outdoor track, it's a 400-meter oval, and an indoor, it's a 200-meter oval. And the one in Birmingham is one of the top 3 facilities in the nation. And so we're very fortunate to have that. The end of the tracks, when they start running all the speed stuff, they elevate up and incline like a NASCAR track, so the kids won't fly off of it. But it's they've got pole vault and long jump and triple jump and high jump and shot put and of course, then all your running events, and so hurdles. So it's very exciting because you're in there, you can see everything from your seats there in Birmingham. You can see every event going on at a time, and there's generally at any given time, every station is people are running, jumping, and throwing at all times, and so it's really exciting to be able to see that. And it's really neat when you go back and as the Olympics are coming up. The neat thing is that 4 years ago when the Olympics came up, there were 5 people that competed in the Olympics that I saw compete in Birmingham at indoor track meet. That's just pretty awesome to be able to do that. Cool. There's some great athletes in our area between Georgia and Alabama and Mississippi. There's some phenomenal athletes.
Well, definitely the focus has been on a lot of athletes at Jackson County.
Yes, and we've had several kids that Coach Duncan always sends quite a few kids to college ranks in softball. Coach Ellison, Annie Hughes, 3A Player of the Year last year in basketball, is currently playing at Auburn.
Did you play in college?
Oh Lord, no. Something about being a 5'7" white kid, that's not being highly recruited. I don't know. Especially, I mean, say 5'7" unathletic white kid. I may have been the worst athlete to ever come through Jackson County, but I always enjoyed it, and I've been very fortunate in my tenure through my 27 years. I've got to work with some great coaches in all different disciplines, and I've been able to pick up a lot of really good things from them, and I hope be able to bring them into my own coaching.
Very good. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Had a blast. I always love coming up here and get to talk. The first time I did this, the principal said, "You think you can talk for 15 minutes?" I said, "I don't even have to know the topic to talk for 15 minutes." So, and the people at Pisgah will definitely give that a big amen.
Your students would too, I bet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
thank you much.
Thanks for coming on. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Get it.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Is she gonna get it, Daddy?
She'll get it. Get it. Get it.
When you bring home a Goodwill find, you give your whole town a reason to celebrate because you're also funding local job training and placement programs in tech, healthcare, and more. Goodwill. Bring good home.
At Comfort Gallery in Kimball, comfort is the key. And the key to making it easier to sleep, sit, and stand is a new PowerLift chair from Catnapper. Catnapper's PowerLift chairs feature comfort coil seating for long-lasting comfort and a powerful yet smooth, quiet motor. Some models even include heat and massage. It's really comfort at the touch of a button. See the full selection today when you visit Comfort Gallery. Free delivery and setup, 1 year free layaway, and 6 and 12 months same as cash. Available at Comfort Gallery, 780 Main Street, 1 mile north of I-24, exit 152A, Kimball, Tennessee.
The Big Jet Fly. I need somebody get back. Honk a cat. Where you talking about time I go. 5, 4, 6, 2, 4. Rolling on the river. Jumping jack fashions and gas. Till I reach the highest ground. The Big Jet Fly. WFI.
Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. At 402 North Cedar Avenue in South Pittsburgh, 4765 Main Street in Jasper, and at 14087 Highway 28 in Whitwell. Providing the highest standard of customer services with a personal touch. Our associates can help you with personal loans, personal lines of credit, a variety of mortgage loans, and more. And we offer real-time internet banking too. See us in South Pittsburgh, Jasper, and Whitwell today. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, welcome to This Week in Jackson County Schools. If you're just now joining us, I'm Pamela Stone, and We are here today with Pisgah School. They are a pre-K through 12th grade school. They have about 600 students, which is a lot. And we're just going to talking to the coach, the track coach, and the cross country coach, and the principal. And we've been talking about the robotics team and the fishing team and all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff.
So next to me, this is Miss Allison Johnson. You are the home ec teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is actually called Family Consumer Science these days.
Absolutely.
But the people who are our age is just
home ec.
Home ec. So, and then you also seem to be like a kind of a guru of a little bit of everything else.
Well, not a guru. I'm just the planner, I guess you could call me.
Are you also a yes person?
Yeah.
Like
Just like Emily.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, that's good. So let's talk about your background, where you come from, how long you've been teaching, stuff like that, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Well, I am originally from Talladega County. I graduated from Chillsburg High School.
Okay.
This is my 28th year teaching,
Wow.
and I've only ever been at Pisgah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, a long time. But I'm married. I have 2 boys. The boy that was here earlier, Bailey, that's mine. That's my
Okay.
oldest.
Okay.
And then he has a little brother named Dalton.
All right.
So
Keeps you busy?
Oh, so busy.
So busy?
So busy.
They do. They absolutely do. Okay. And what do you, besides home ec, it's just all home ec? Is that all you've ever taught?
That's it. I've done some computers.
Okay.
Some computer classes.
So what do you do in home ec?
Well, we do now. It's a lot different than when you and I were in school. You don't just cook and sew anymore. I do a lot of cooking classes. I have a chemistry of food class now that can substitute for a science class. So if they want to take that credit instead of taking Coach Embry's more difficult chemistry and physics, they can take mine, which is more fun.
Is it kind of like Alton Brown? Do you know who Alton
Yes,
Brown is?
yes. We
So it's kinda
messed
like
stuff
Alton
up
Brown?
on purpose.
Okay.
We messed up pie crust today on purpose. So we put different ingredients in them so you can see what
Like
ingredients.
baking soda does versus butter versus lard or something.
Right, exactly.
Super
So-
cool. That would be fun.
Yeah, so we do that, and then I also just do your regular, like food nutrition, where I teach them the nutrition part, and then we also cook. And then my family and consumer science class, it does a little bit of all of it. I call it my drive-by home ec class because it does housing, parenting, finance, all that. But I do a lot of finance and cooking. Basically, is what we do now.
Well, finance in a household is more important than almost
yeah.
anything.
You're right.
Do you have the babies?
My babies went to Skyline.
Okay.
Because I don't really do the parenting part as much, just that little brief part in the food nutrition, or not the family consumer sciences, and the lady there does a lot more of the parenting. Mm-hmm.
There you go. All right, so let's talk about you do it's called the Eagle Day.
Yes.
And then you also deal with the blood drive.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's talk about Eagle Day first. For everyone who doesn't know, tell everybody what Eagle Day is.
Okay, Eagle Day is where it's kind of set up like Relay for Life, where they have the booths, the different booths, and you
Okay.
go around and you do. Some of them have games set up. Some of them do food, different things like that.
Right.
And that's kind of the premise of what we do. Normally, we do it in the gym, and we have it set up. The elementary teachers in different clubs will have a booth that my high school kids will help them run, and they try to earn money for us to donate to whichever research or cause or whatever that we've selected to do.
Okay.
And in the past, we've done. We've donated to epilepsy research and diabetes research, and we donated that money to Hudson Alpha. And coming up on the 13th, we've got a banquet with them, like a thank you banquet for the different donors.
Cool.
And since my youngest plays baseball, and that's the day of our open header or double header with North Sun Mountain, I'll be at that, and Bailey and Miss Smith will go to the reception.
What grade do you do? Do you do home ec? Do you go down to middle school?
I can go down to, my degree will allow me to go down to 7th grade.
7th grade.
But I generally have not through 12th grade.
Not through 12th grade. Okay. And you told me that this year your Eagle Day funds are going to go to Wounded Warrior.
Yes, ma'am. Wounded Warrior.
That's cool. And that's for military families.
Yes.
For somebody who's been wounded.
Yes.
And to provide them money for whatever they may need.
Yes, ma'am.
So cool. And I'm guessing you work with the Wounded Warrior funds to be able to.
Well,
or do you just take the money and just.
I'm just going to. You can do there's a couple of different programs with them that you can do. You can do like a continual, perpetual donor type thing, or you can do just a chunk donation, and that's what we're
And
going
you're
to do.
selling T-shirts.
We'll do T-shirts, and we're going to do the. They'll just be a white print, and it's going to have Wounded Warrior Fund, and I'm going to do a flag, an American flag on the back, and we'll sell those to help raise a little extra money to go along with whatever we raise the day of Eagle Day.
Super cool.
Super cool.
That is. Okay, and then your blood drive.
Blood drive, we do blood drives. We do 3 a year. We do those
That's
through.
a lot.
It is. We do them through.
That's a lot.
It is. We do them through Blood Assurance, and we generally have about 60 to 70 donations every time we give. And in the January drive, we have a competition between us and North Sand Mountain, and we've won the last 3. We just found out the other day that we won this year's Battle of the Mountains, so we're pretty excited about that.
Ooh, so you just compete against the...
We compete against them. It's kind of, rivalries. You want to beat them at checkers. It doesn't matter. You just want to win. So that was just...
So it's a blood drive.
Right. So that was something that they came up with to get more
Let's drain
donations.
your blood and see if you can win. That's good.
Who bleeds faster?
Hey, that's a good. That is good.
Mean, we could try it.
You should use it. So awesome. Okay, and then you got prom.
Yes, ma'am.
So when is prom?
Prom is March 28th. It's the Saturday at the end of spring break.
Is there a theme? Do you guys do themes for March? For prom?
We usually do a type of theme. I think we're going to do, because it's 2020, I think we're going to do a 20s style prom.
Neat.
Yeah. Coach Embry actually suggested that. He's extremely creative when he wants to be.
Very good.
But we're at AM Booth Lumberyard this year. It's in Huntsville. So I'm excited about that. It's an open area, so we're going to...
Is it really a lumber yard?
No, it's more of a barbecue place.
Okay. I'm thinking lumber yard. I'm like...
It's really... I don't know if it used to be originally a lumber yard or not, but it was... we went and looked at it this summer, and when we walked in, they had the barbecue cooking, and I'm like, ooh, we got to do it here because it smelled so good.
Well, that's cool. All right, and prom, let's talk about ages.
Ages, okay. They can... the ones that can attend prom is juniors and seniors. Juniors and seniors are allowed, and they can invite anyone that is a 9th grader up to the age of 20. They can't be over 20.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
They can go up to 20.
Yeah. And they have to have, if they're out of school or homeschooled, they have to have a background check and all that. We have to make sure that the kids are safe.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
That's right.
So if they're 20, but they went to your school, do they still have to have all that?
I don't know. I haven't really discussed that with Dr. Prestridge yet to make sure if he wants to do that.
Okay.
In the years past, we have said, I know this kid, he just graduated last year or she just graduated last year. We know that they're not any trouble.
Right.
So I don't know if we'll do that or not.
Okay.
So it's up to him. He's the boss, not me.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So, and then you got roped into, maybe not ropes, the right word, but roped into a coffee shop, opening a coffee shop.
We had our...
I always wanted to do, being a business teacher.
Right.
And I do Future Business Leaders America. I always thought this would be so cool.
Yes.
Or something like it. So
far it's been fun. But we've only done it for 2 days. So talk to me Friday, and we'll see how I feel
We're in
about it.
3 weeks.
Right. But it's kind of a new trend with schools doing stuff like this, little coffee bars, coffee shops, whatever. So Dr. Prestridge had called me and said, why don't we look into this and see what we can do? I'm like, okay. So I did some research and called around and talked with my kids, and I said, okay, this is what I want to do, figure out what we need to do this. How we need to do this. And with my family and consumer science class, we do business plans and different things like that. So that's the group we're doing it with. And they're my older group. They're juniors and seniors. That's what grades I have in that class. So they're helping me get everything done. Actually, they're doing most of it. And I'm just like, I'll go get coffee. So, I just go buy the stuff and they make sure everything gets done.
Do you have like a closet that you sell out of, or did you just do a cart or what?
Right now, the way my kitchen is laid out, I have a cart that I can pull in and kind of keeps the kids from being able to get in. We can get out, obviously, in case, fire hazards or anything. But the kid kind of gives a barrier where the kids can come in up to they're coming up to a bar, a coffee bar, to order their coffee, and then the kids will fix it in the kitchen and bring it back up to them.
Okay, so it's really being made in the kitchen.
It's in the kitchen, but we have a cart that we store everything on and put it out of the way.
And you got pastries or just coffee?
No pastries.
And is it like fufu coffee, like flavors and?
We do the different flavored creamers. We
Okay.
can do that because we have to follow the guidelines of the child nutrition program. So we can only have so many calories and so much sugar per serving. So, and if you read the nutritional labels, we're within that with our creamers that we use.
Well, good job on doing that. That's hard.
Yeah, it is.
I saw fundraising stuff, and that's hard to stay within that guideline.
It really is. And I had some girls today before I left. We're working on some iced coffees. So coming soon, hopefully, to the Eagles Nest Coffee Bar will be iced coffees.
Well, when do you do it? Just in the mornings?
We do it in the mornings.
Oh, well, do you take requests? If I was the teacher, I would be taking requests during the middle of the day.
Well,
You'd probably
my
sell some.
teachers
Yeah,
are like,
that's what I'm
I've got
thinking.
to have. I mean, like they'll call me, hey, do you have some coffee fixed? And so we'll fix them
That's
a pot
what
of
I'm
coffee.
thinking. That would be me.
Usually it's Dr. Prestridge. He'll come in about 3 or 4 times a day with his cup, going, I need coffee. So
That's what I would do. And mine would be like the cold one.
yeah.
Chopped up ice.
Yeah.
Let's do it right. So,
That's right.
Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Really
Thanks for having us.
appreciate it. We will see you next week on This Week in Jackson County Schools.